Like, you got that kind of like 70s, 80s version of what the future would look like, chat. Like, big fucking buttons. Everything has a layer of grime to it. Right? I talked about this in my Alien interview this week. And none of that. None of that. That aesthetic is in Prometheus at all, chat. It looks like a fucking Apple store. That's what it does. Hello, I just wanted to thank you for clicking on my video, and I wanted to let you know not only do I create content in my YouTube channel here, Class in a Glass, but I'm also on Twitch where I play single-player games, multiplayer games. I do movie reviews, cartoon reviews, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Also, it would be a big help if you can check out my Patreon, where you can gain access to audio commentaries, reactions, and the ability to submit questions for my podcasts and videocasts. And all that content can be found in the links below. In the meantime, enjoy the video. I have 9 questions. Chat, provided to me by us. Because as you know, if you subscribe to me at the tier 4 level, chat, you get to ask 3 questions for the Class in a Glass cast. And so we got questions from Josh, 7th Facade himself, chat, Josh Herbert, JT Asmussen, JT who's joined us right now, and also John Early, who you guys might know as Brightbird 1985. But we're going to go in order of which they were submitted, chat. That's what we're going to do. And, of course, you can go ahead and tune in as well. But, chat, this is the first question from Josh. This is numero uno. He says, what film or films served as the turning point for you where film became a passion? Now, this is an excellent question, chat. I mean, I just don't have one movie that inspired me to, really just inspired my love for film in general. It was several films, but they came at a very formative period in my life, and specifically during the 90s and early 2000s, chat. I mean, the first part of my answer, chat, there's basically 3 to 4 films that really inspired my love of cinema. Number one being, it's an obvious answer, but Star Wars, chat. My parents took me, Star Wars Episode 1 was not the first Star Wars film that I saw in theaters, chat, despite being a 90s baby boy. No, my parents actually took me, chat, in 1997, I was like 6 or 7 years old, to see the re-releases of Star Wars. This was in preparation for the upcoming Phantom Menace release. And so I saw A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, back to back to back, like over the course of 2 weeks or something. I think we saw, I remember, chat, I think I saw A New Hope on Friday, then we saw on that Sunday, Empire Strikes Back, and I had to wait all week until like Saturday to see Return of the Jedi, chat. And this, because I saw these movies along with watching on television, chat, like Batman the Animated Series, so I had these 2 amazing genre properties, consuming these 2 right all at once, chat. It was a smorgasbord of nerd shit. It just opened me up to the idea of, sci-fi, operatic, genre fiction. It was just an amazing experience for me. Both, all these characters and the villains, chat. I fell in love with it. And also the other film I kind of look at, because I saw around the same time after this, was Raiders of the Lost Ark, chat. And that film, in much the same way it's Star Wars, kind of like, sowed my appreciation for, the hero's journey in film and recognizing the tropes in that. Raiders of the Lost Ark, same thing, but it also inspired my love of practical effects. I talked about this recently, matter of fact, in my Raiders of the Lost Ark commentary on my Patreon. And I said what I love about the aesthetic of the Indiana Jones trilogy, and yes, the trilogy, not that goddamn 4th film, chat, was it felt real. To a certain extent. Obviously, you got blue screen effects in the background and stuff like that, but the fact that they use practical effects in all these sequences, it made it feel grounded. It made it feel gritty, despite the fact that it's pretty much like, one of those classic 30s, 40s serial adventures that George Lucas and Steven Spielberg watches kids that inspired, the Indiana Jones trilogy. And so that really, awoke in my passion for practical effects in films, and why so often they just age better. Chat. So often when I talk about my, the movies on my scene by scene breakdown, especially when I'm talking about like action films in the 2000s or CGI heavy, films from the late 90s or 2000s, like the CGI always ages so bad. It's never just like, ooh, it just doesn't look good in hindsight. But something like Indiana Jones or something even like the original Star Wars, like a lot of that stuff still holds up to this day. Yeah, there's certain dated things. Of course, there's going to be some dated stuff, but aesthetically, they almost make me feel warm. You know, it's just like, oh, it's something familiar, but it works for what they were absolutely doing. Whereas something like, I don't know, off the top of my head, like X-Men 2000, like all the CGI effects in there are like, yeah, this doesn't hold up at all. When you have fucking rubber, Hugh Jackman fighting rubber Sabretooth on top of the Statue of Liberty, it doesn't match. Whereas something like Raiders or the original Star Wars trilogy, that does. Jurassic Park, exactly, Chris here. That's another great example. Yeah, perfect. Perfect way. Perfect comparison. We don't talk about that fourth. It never happened. Agreed. Jay Cuz, nice. Ghostbusters, again, like Ghostbusters, like the effects that he uses in that film, it's yeah, you could say maybe dated or whatever, but it works for what it's doing. In terms of the comedic tone and the action sequences, it just that's why that film has just aged so well. I mean, it's nearly 40. It's going to be almost 40 years in a couple of years, and so that's pretty goddamn incredible. Another perfect example. Yes. Who's drunk as fuck? Oh no, someone's drunk as fuck right now. Fana, you're drunk as fuck. Oh no. Purple Canary. Don't judge me, but mine was Pitch Black. No, Pitch Black is fun. It was one of the first movies that I can remember that I watched in the theater. No, Pitch Black was that's a great movie. I reviewed that on stream a couple of months ago. And what's great about that film's CGI, actually, because the CGI is dated, but the filmmaker was smart enough to have most of the big creature attack sequences at night or in darkness. And so because when you have CGI in the dark chat, or it's a darker scene, you're using CGI, it just looks better because you can hide, you can mask some of that stuff with the lighting that you're doing. So it's very smart in hindsight. So no, Pitch Black is great. I'm a big Pitch Black fan. Thunder mine was Halloween. Another great one. The original. The 78 Halloween. You know, John Carpenter. That film. I mean, really popularized the slasher subgenre in horror, and I mean that's what you saw, like all these other films that came after, everything from Friday the 13th to Nightmare on Elm Street to, I mean, anything within the slasher genre. A lot of it, I mean, sure, the slasher genre was already around, stuff like Psycho and a couple other ones, but Halloween was the one that's like, oh shit, no, we can make some fucking money off of this kind of stuff. You remember, like, even Psycho was controversial for its time, so you didn't see a lot of, like, Psycho knockoffs or things that were inspired by Psycho until something like Halloween. That kind of was the evolution of that film. Then at least something about Michael High in the Dark when showing up in the light was scary. Yeah, no, the lighting in that was fantastic in that film. Agreed. Trying to remember what my first theater movie was. Yeah, I mean, that was one of the first ones that I can remember was Star Wars and Raiders of the Lost Ark. Because I saw a screening of Raiders in the theater as well. I think it was not like a wide release. It was more like a local theater type of thing. Where it's like, fuck, because of, how popular releasing the Star Wars films for a lot of local theaters, they did a very small limited Raiders release, and that's how I saw that. But a couple other ones too, chap, on the top of my head. It's certainly in the 2000s when I just as my love of film started to proliferate, I realized that you don't need just big special effects to, have fun in a theater or watching a movie, chat. I realized that you can just entertain someone by having really well-written dialogue, chat. And the other film that inspired my love of film was Pulp Fiction. I mean, a lot of the early Quentin Tarantino stuff, I mean, just the way he writes is incredible. Like, you could say a lot of things about Quentin Tarantino, chat. You can criticize him for a lot of things, but those first three films he did, Reservoir Dogs, Jackie Brown, and especially Pulp Fiction, that I kind of consider the classic Tarantino trilogy, chat. What I love about those movies so much is how he can entertain you just by having people talk to each other. That dialogue, it still has aged for the most part incredibly well. It's still funny. You're still captivated by it. So Pulp Fiction is absolutely one of those other films that I grew up on and just have an appreciation for the art of dialogue and how you construct a scene by just having two fucking characters sit across from each other and have it be one of the most tense moments of the movie multiple times. It just works. Mr. Hummon here, welcome back to the stream. Just talking about my the questions I've been given for my class in the glass cast, good sir. Hope you're doing very well. It was great playing with you yesterday, by the way. Fall Guys Master right there, chat. Fall Guys Master. Oh, Brightburn, my mother was emotionally scarred by The Birds so much that she never let me watch any Alfred Hitchcock films as a child. Really? But the one film that really stuck with me was Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Oh, no. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Yeah, that's another. I mean, that shows. I mean, that is not only an incredibly well-directed film with amazing performances, but that kind of film will never happen again. That is a once-in-a-lifetime deal. When you have these fucking monoliths of movie studios, fucking corporations, like finally, like, okay, fine, come together and to include all their characters in this one movie and to share screen time. I mean, Mickey Mouse and Bugs Bunny in the same scene, like that, you don't see that, Chad. You'll probably never see that again, ever. No, that was an incredibly rare feat of filmmaking and just, you know, corporate camaraderie, if you want to call it that, chat. No, Who Framed Roger Rabbit is one of my favorite films of all time. It's probably my top 20 movies. I watch it. Recently just reviewed that. Absolutely adore that film. CL0R! Welcome! Chris! You just said Chris! You said Chris like Albert Wesker says Chris. I love it. But, and then the last like two films that really had an impact on me and inspired my love of animation, my obsessive love of animation, how I rewatch things over and over and over again. I mean, I was a 90s kid, chat, so it was a fucking quality smorgasbord in the 90s, chat, specifically during the Disney Renaissance, and Aladdin and The Lion King, chat. Those are my big two. Those are my favorite 2D Renaissance era Disney films. Didn't see them. I think I didn't see Aladdin in the theaters. Shit, I was way too young. But I did see The Lion King theaters. And it blew my little mind away, chat. And then eventually seeing Aladdin right after. It was incredible. And that really built my appreciation for 2D animation, where, I mean, thankfully, we're still seeing it. We're still seeing it in television, chat, not so much in film, with the exception of like a couple movies. You know, it's rare. Maybe a Studio Ghibli film every once in a while. Or, I mean, it's not coming from any of the big, you know, companies like Disney or DreamWorks or I mean any in between, Illumination. But yeah, those two films had such an impact. I mean, to the point where I memorized the goddamn lyrics from the songs, chat. I mean, how does Scars go? I know that your powers of retention are as wet as a warthog's backside, but as thick as you are. Pay attention. My words are a matter of pride. Like, shit like that. Like, that's how much it had an impact on me, chat, where I memorized that shit because I love the songs in that movie. Darkslayer, careful, Chris. Don't want to go broke of all these $5 words. I know. I know. Well, thank you. You're helping me pay for with that nickel right there. Thank you, Darkslayer, the 5 biddies. Purple Canary, Disney Channel Richards. Hey, that influenced a lot of people, no doubt. Now, Carison, I'm usually against remakes, but Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds could use one of those. That I agree. No, they have not aged well. I'm right there with you, Brandon Carison. That could be an interesting remake. Totally agree with you. Scar gets wet as fuck. Yeah, man. Well, as we found out in Scar chat now, you might not know this, but there was a Lion King TV series. This ended like a year ago or something. Maybe it was like a couple of months ago, chat, called The Lion Guard, which explored the life of Simba's son, Kion, chat. You're like, well, Kion, who is that? We only know that Simba and Nala, they had a daughter, chat. They had a daughter, and he got with Scar's adopted kid, and it was kind of weird. It's like, is this incest? Is this incest, chat? We don't really know. Apparently, it was his adopted son. It wasn't his biological child. But during that time, chat, in between The Lion King and The Lion King 2, chat, Simba and Nala, they had another lion, chat, named Kimba, and he formed the Lion Guard. Right? Or I guess they restarted the Lion Guard because Scar, he destroyed the Lion Guard because he's a dick. He's a dick, chap. And he did his own thing. Funny thing about Scar, chat, kind of going back to my original point, Scar, he was the original leader of the Lion Guard, chat. It's kind of the second. See, you got the king of the fucking Pride Lands and shit. That was like Mufasa. But then if you're the second child, then you're the leader of the Lion Guard. You're basically like, you know, the security, if you will, of the Pride Lands, chat. And the thing is, like Scar, he had a boyfriend, chat. He had a boyfriend, and his boyfriend manipulated him, and Scar was hurt by that boyfriend. He fucking killed him. He fucking killed him. And ever since then, chat, he was never the same. He was never the same, goddammit. Brian, Strangers on a Train was supposed to get a remake with Ben Affleck, but of course this rumor was before COVID-19. So probably held off on that. Interesting. For now, Lion Guard better than the Avengers. I mean, some ways it is. In some ways it is. I have to agree with you for now. But now I have another question, chat. This is also from Josh right here. So there you go. Those are the films that really inspired my love of cinema. Star Wars, original Star Wars trilogy, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Pulp Fiction, Aladdin, and Lion King. Those are definitely the big ones, chat. Yeah, the big five. But he has another question here, chat. Question number 2. If you had the chance to have any property that hasn't been adapted to film already, what would you choose, and who would you cast as a lead? So the lead actor or actress, chat. Now, I was just thinking video game properties. Typically, I play a lot of video games on this channel, as you know, chat. I'm a variety streamer. But I was thinking 2 video game properties, chat. One, Bioshock. Now, typically, when it comes to video game adaptations to films, I'm more like, I'd rather get like an animated series, but Bioshock is one of those I think could work really well with a live action adaptation, Chet. I think that would be great. I mean, just the criticism of libertarianism and the works of Ayn Rand, chat, that would be interesting. I mean, just the whole setting underwater, that 50s, late 50s, early 60s aesthetic right there, dystopian society underneath the goddamn depths. That would be awesome. Now, who would I cast as the main character? The main character in Bioshock, the original one. I mean, it's a silent protagonist, but the protagonist's name is Jack. It's Jack, chat. And I would like to see someone like a Wyatt Russell, chat, the son of Kurt Russell, he's been in a ton of stuff, chat. He's going to be playing U.S. Agent. He's going to be playing one of the villains in Falcon, the Winter Soldier. He was also one of the I think the secondary lead in a film called Overlord, which I wish was better than it was, but he was in that. He's a good kid. He's kind of on the same trajectory as his father, where he's in a lot of genre shows right now, or like genre films. And I was like, I could definitely see him playing that type of character, chat. Or my other choice would be Jack Rayner, who basically looks like me. He's like the prettier version of me in film, chat. And he's probably most recently been featured in Midsummer. He played the boyfriend, the main character in the fucking bear outfit, chat. That was that guy. I think that'd be cool. Oh boy, hey, I liked Overlord. No, listen, it's like, I liked it, but it was like, this could be like really great. There's just something about it. I think, honestly, it was the writing for the characters and their dialogue that was like, yeah, this is a bit messy. But the practical effects, the way it was shot was amazing. There was some excellent cinematography, some great practical effects in that movie, and I thought Wyatt Russell was great. He should have been the main character, in my opinion. But I had some other issues with that film. But no, I get you. He's with you with an Irish accent. He's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. I felt true. It could have been better, but I dug. No, I get it. Totally get it. They announced Tatiana Maslany lead actress. I read that, from Orphan Black as She-Hulk. We're going to be talking about that on the 8-Bit Crumbs today. I was going to say the Sunday service chat, but no, it's 8-Bit Crumbs tonight. Mr. Yasmin Gorbansky was going to make a live-action Bioshock film, but canceled because of budget and R rating. Yeah, that's what he wanted. I mean, he wanted more money to make it, and he wanted to give that proper R rating, as it should be, chat. I mean, Bioshock should not be PG-13, okay? There's some fucked up shit in that game. You have mutated people. I mean, their bodies are fucking falling apart, chat. You got just some straight-up psychopaths. Everyone from, Andrew Ryan to that guy. Remember the Peaches guy? You got Peaches, chat. You also got Dr. Steidman, chat. Now, that has to be rated R. It can't be anything less than that. Then, Enigma, yes, Bioshock visuals would be so dope to see on screen. Yeah, and live action, too. I think that was one of the few video games I think that can make the transition to film. I think it'll do well. And they could even improve upon the story. Because Bioshock, has a good story, has a good twist. But the character of Jack is just whatever. He works because he's a plot device. And a great, plot device, chat. Would you kindly? So, yeah. Purple Canary Curse, you got good taste. Thank you, Purple Canary. They named their kid Kimba. Was it Kimba? I thought it was Kion. I'm pretty sure it was Kion. No. Oh, no, because Kimba, Kimba the White Line. That would have been fucking funny. Yeah. Just thumb on their nose. His name was Kion. Let me go. Can I still order PS5? I don't know. I managed to order 2 PS5s, Chad. I got a physical, or the disc, and the discless one, the digital one. A friend of mine wanted the disc version. So I got that for him, and I got some money. He paid me back. Oh, Mr. Yasmin, Ken Levine inside the box office underperformed of Watchmen is one of the reasons the studio said no to Bioshock because Watchmen was R-rated. Fair enough. Yeah, the other reason why probably, I get it, especially because Watchmen, they probably put a lot of money into that, and the film was what it was. Yeah, hopefully, I'm hoping that we'll someday see a live-action Bioshock, chat. Because I think that's a property that deserves, a second. It's kind of been dormant ever since Bioshock Infinite. There hasn't been anything, which, Bioshock Infinite's, it's good. It's okay. I have some issues with it. I love the world and the aesthetic. That story, though, is nonsense. But the original Bioshock, absolutely. I could definitely see that. Oh. And the land, we have one more question. Oh, no, excuse me. I have another property I want to talk about, too, chat, for the, that could be adapted to film. and this is, again, in the vein of video games chat. This is one that we've heard about, we haven't heard of recently until it was like, oh, shit, this game's actually coming out. But Half-Life chat was back in the news this year because of Half-Life Alyx chat, Valve's VR game, which is kind of like a prequel sequel set in between the events of Half-Life 1 and Half-Life 2. But I think if you want like a really good horror sci-fi adventure kind of in this underground facility chat, it's dealing with interdimensional monsters and creatures and space-time and all that kind of thing, I would love to see an adaptation of the original Half-Life chat. And my choice for an actor, I was thinking like Gordon Freeman. Like, who could I see playing a Gordon Freeman-esque character? Obviously, not much of a personality because, again, he's another silent protagonist, so you can have some fun with that chat. But I figure it's like Gordon Freeman, he's a scientist. He ends up becoming kind of like the everyman action hero, someone you wouldn't expect to be fighting and gunning down all these monsters and enemies, chat. My choice would be Bill Hader. I think Bill Hader would do an excellent job in a movie like that. We haven't really seen him done that. When we've seen him do stuff we would never thought we would ever see Bill Hader do, like in Barry, where Bill Hader's typically a comedic actor, chat, and he's in that show. And yes, it's very comedic, but he gives an incredible dramatic performance. And so I would love to see him in a sci-fi horror film akin to Half-Life, or just have him be in Half-Life. Thank you, Bat Shields. Let me go ahead and see what that generosity was for the 30 biddies, good sir. I love the days when I get off work and go straight to enjoying me. Oh, thank you on Twitch in a full blunt. No, thank you so much, Bat Shields. It's very, very kind. Thank you. I forgot to do this, chat. May the wings of liberty, them as a feather, you're shaking the pillars of heaven as we speak. Cheers and salute to you, to all of you. Thank you. Mr. Yasman, Dan Stevens. Oh, don't worry, Mr. Yasman. Dan Stevens is going to come in the conversation eventually. he's going to be listing one of my other questions, matter of fact. Oh, I'm saving him. You know what, chat? I'm going to cast Dan Stevens as somebody. At least half of the people I'm going to be talking about. Half the properties. No, don't worry. I want Bill Hader to play Best Man. He would make a great Plastic Man. I could see that, too. Val Chris and Juicy, who would be your actor choices for Ellie and Joel in the upcoming Last of Us HBO series? I think Josh Brolin would make a great Joel. I could definitely see that. Ellie's a little harder to cast off the top of my head. I don't know that many actresses of that age, like 13, 14. So I'm kind of struggling for anything to come to mind. But for Joel, Josh Brolin, I think he could pull that off very well. Darkshire, I think with 5 biddies. Been seeing some issues regarding the PS5 itself, like overheating and software issues. Oh, no! That's too bad. Oh, Jesus Christ. That got leaked out, apparently. Brown Calrissian. Josh Brolin would be awesome. The girl from Jojo Rabbit, maybe? I could see that. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard to cast Ellie, chat. Like, nothing's immediately coming to mind. I don't know. I know the girl from Logan. Maybe they could do that. Yeah. So it literally is The Last of Us. It's funny. Like, fucking Logan stole from The Last of Us, and now Last of Us is going to steal from Logan. It's a fucking circle, chat. Chasing their own tail. Purple Canaries, Dan Stevens is Chris, like Zach Caboose is Corey. Pretty much. He is my man crush, chat. Like, my man crushes, chat. Here's a good question. Here's a good topic, chat. My man crushes. Dan Stevens, obviously, as we all know. Big on Dan Stevens. Chris Evans is up there, chat. He's pretty fucking charming. He's smarmy, too. Big Chris Evans guy. I'm trying to think who else. Those might be the two, chat. Nothing else is coming to mind. No. Well, no. Maybe go with an unknown. That too. Yeah, I'm just not familiar with too many, teenage actresses. So, but I think Josh Brolin for Joel would be excellent. Yeah. But that was all of I believe that was. Oh no, we have one more question from Josh. Yeah, one more question. Oh, this is taking a while. I'm gonna need more time. Oh. This is his final question, chat. We'll move on to the other ones. What film was the most disappointing to you in terms of failing to meet the high expectations you had going into it? Let me tell you, there are so many films, but I picked two. And one of them is actually related to something I talked about earlier, chat. Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, chat, was one of the biggest disappointments for me. As you guys know, I'm a huge fan of the Indiana Jones trilogy. Raiders of the Lost Ark is probably my top 10 films of all time. I adore that film. And what I loved about the trilogy overall, you could pick and choose. Each movie, I think, is great. It's doing something great. Yeah, Temple of Doom is definitely the weakest of the trilogy. It has its issues. Believe me, I'm going to go into them when I release my audio commentary for that. But those films, they all fit into a very nice package, chat. There's no like weird outliers when you look. Okay, no, I could see the consistency and how things carry over, whether it be in terms of how the characters act or the aesthetic of the film. Like everything fits. And then you get fucking Crystal Skull, which just does not match. It doesn't have the magic of those original films, chat. And I mean, there's several big reasons why. One, you have Harrison Ford playing this character. And he just, I mean, when he did this movie, he was in his 60s at this point, if not, I mean, maybe he was in his 50s. I don't know. He's like in his 70s right now. But he looked like he was in his 70s, Chef, because he just felt so old in the role and so tired, and he wasn't the same Indiana Jones that we saw in that trilogy. And another big thing, chat, that really turned me off, and I talk about aesthetics a lot on my streams and, you know, how you shoot things or the kind of effects that you use. Steven Spielberg was so overly reliant on CGI and green screen that it just nothing felt real. Nothing felt like it had any weight. That's another thing about the Indiana Jones trilogy, chat. Things had weight to them. You know, it's like, yeah, they'll have like a matte paint in the background occasionally or a blue screen effect. But for the most part, like, it's like, oh, they're actually filming there. They're filming on location. It feels real. You know, they're in Egypt or something. Or even if they're on a set, there's something you can hold on to those things. Like, I love that. Whereas you look at something like Crystal Skull, it's so, I mean, CGI monkey shit, CGI aliens, CGI Russians, CGI jungles. Like, nothing has any weight to it. Everything feels kind of weightless and lifeless to me. And didn't help that you just had like a really piss poor story, and it just didn't have the charm. It lacked all the charm that the original films had, and that was a huge, because I was excited for that one. I was like, oh my god, here we fucking go. And I was let down when that movie done. I was like, that fucking sucked. And it wasn't like I wasn't trying to convince myself like, oh no. I mean, it's not as good as the other ones, but still great. It's like, nah. Yeah. As soon as the movie ended, I was like, wow, it's terrible. Thank you. I'm gonna go ahead and thank some people right here. Ooh, Chad, I wanted my rant. That's what happens. Do you only think of 11 biddies? What do you think about Miles Morales, Spider-Man coming to PS4? Looks fucking great, man. Can't wait for it. Cannot wait for it. Hey, Zira Kalmum. Hey, I'm going to call you Hey Zir. Welcome to Stream, your new Huckleberry. Hope you're having a fantastic Thursday evening. Crystal Skulls 2 CGI. Yep, they nuked the plane. They nuked the plane. They nuked the goddamn fridge. They nuked everything. Lucas, no, I mean, I think Spielberg deserves more of the blame for that film. He's the director. I mean, yeah, George is the producer and he's the writer or one of the writers, co-writers or whatever, his story, I guess. But a lot of the blame goes to Spielberg. And that film is kind of what started my, I don't know, more negative opinion towards Spielberg in the his later career. Like, Spielberg has made some of the greatest films of all time, you know, popularized along with Lucas the American blockbusters. No doubt about that. His impact in cinema is still felt to this day. But I'd say in the last 15, 20 years, I've not been a fan of his, honestly. And this was kind of one of the me having that coming to that realization that he's just not the same filmmaker that he was when he made Jaws or Close Encounters or Raiders or Jurassic Park. He's just not on that level. Deadpool, thank you. Using that Twitch Prime subscription. Thank you for using that on my stream, my friend. Welcome back to the stream. How you doing today? Hope you're having a very excellent Thursday evening. I was way more surprised when I found out Miles Morales was going to be on PS4 and PS5. Yeah, a lot of cross-generational games. Yeah, that'll be for Miles Morales. I'm going to get that on PS5. I'm going to get that on PS5. Mm-hmm. Those CGI ants, Jesus Christ. It's like, those CGI ants, chat, don't hold a fucking candle to the Snake Pit and Raiders or the goddamn cockroach cave in Temple of Doom, or even the rat infestation below the streets, chat, and that tomb below Venice. Because all that was on a set. It felt real, you know? Whereas that one, it was just a guy who was wearing a fucking CGI green outfit and going, it looked terrible. But yeah, chat. That was one. Also, another one I've talked about before, too, Prometheus. So excited for that. It's like, oh, they got fucking Ridley Scott back. Ridley Scott, the director of the original Alien, one of my favorite sci-fi horror film of all time, one of my favorite films of all time. He's got this, chat. The marketing for the movie was excellent, chat. And I was like, can't wait. And I saw the film, and I was like, oh, my God, no. George Lucas did. George Lucas did, chat. It was like the prequels all over again. For whatever reason, even despite this movie taking place in the past, all the technology is super advanced compared to Alien and Aliens chat. Like, everyone's using fucking touch screens, and there's holograms everywhere. Even though, as we saw in Alien Aliens chat, like, you got that kind of, like, 70s, 80s version of what the future would look like, chat. Like, big fucking buttons. Everything has a layer of grime to it, right? I talked about this in my Alien review this week. And none of that. None of that. That aesthetic is in Prometheus at all, chat. It looks like a fucking Apple store. That's what it does. A little blue sheen. Everything has a blue sheen. And the other thing, too, of that chat, the characters are terrible. I mean, they are dumb. They're annoying, chat. None of them are likable. Not even Catherine. Who's the Numi Rapace? Is it Numi Rapace? I think that's in that. None of them are likable, chat. You get one cool scene of the thing coming out of her, but other than that, chat, what incredible disappointment. Yeah. I know a lot of people did not like Prometheus. But yeah, that's the answer to, like, films that have profoundly disappointed me, chat. And now we can move on, chat. So thank you again, Josh. Josh, Seven Facade himself, chat, with the generosity, being a tier 4 subscriber. Thank you. Certainly raise my glass to you. Cheers and salute. I think I like Prometheus better than Covenant. Yeah, I mean, Covenant might be worse, honestly. Yeah, it might be, Steve. I don't know. Like, I always debate in my head, which one do I dislike more, Covenant or Prometheus? It goes back and forth each time. Yeah, I don't like any of them. Sadly, chat, obviously Aliens are the best Alien movies in the franchise, no question. But the third best, I think, honestly, for me, is probably Alien vs. Predator, which isn't saying much. It's like a high rental, but it's probably the third best one. Covenant's worse is it doubles down. Really, it doubles down on the unlikable characters and the CGI. You got me going here, chat. Yeah, what I talked about recently on my Alien review, how the alien in that movie moves very differently than the aliens in the rest of the franchise, chat. It moves very slow. Like, there's several shots in the film that I absolutely love. There's one in particular when he's attacking Parker and Lambert when they're about to leave the Nostromo. And after the alien has killed Parker, chat, Yaphet Kotto's character, he's coming towards Veronica Cartwright, Lambert, and he's moving like this. Like, he's feeling the air around him. And there's something so horrifying about that, even though he's moving slow. It's just like, this creature is just so foreign, so alien to us, that, like, his perception of where he is in the room just feels so awkward and weird. And I always dug that. Whereas as you look at something like Covenant, chat, aliens fucking jumping around and shit. It's all CGI. And Ridley Scott even said, like, yeah, I prefer to use CGI now because it's easier. It is. I mean, it is in hindsight, chat. CGI is cheaper to use than practical effects. It's true. I mean, a lot can go wrong with practical effects, Chad. They might have to, like, shit, we blew this. Now we spend more money to fix the scene. But those scenes always look better, Chad, because practical effects age better. Yeah. Mauricio, welcome to stream. I'm just doing my my Q&A, my questions and with an ampersand answer segment for my Class in the Glass Patreon, chat. Welcome to Class in the Glass cast. TM. The jump scare for when it gets Dallas always creepy. Yeah, I know. That hug me. That wah, like that. I love that. So many good scenes, chat. Oh, yeah, it's an amazing movie. I wanted that mythology to be great, but the thing is with aliens, when they keep exploring more mythology, it gets progressively dumber. It's great to just, maybe not explain the origins of that whole thing. Like, keep aliens simple. Survival horror in space. That's what it works best. Both an alien and an alien survival story, or even if it's an action story, even if you're playing with other genres, it's still kind of the same thing, and it works. When you go down the road of trying to explain all this shit, it always is like, that's dumb. That's what happened to Prometheus. That's what happened to Covenant. Sadly. Julian, thank you. Let me go ahead and put some respect on those biddies. 14 biddies, I believe. 14 biddies. Thank you, good sir. I forgot to mention, I loved your alien review. Thank you. The lighting in the first Alien really sells. Yes, the lighting. No question. Lighting, the set design. Yeah, man, the performances, like, I really love the performances. Like, oh, it's not like, oh, that, like, goddamn, Harrington Stanton is Oscar winning. It's like, no, each performance served a particular purpose, chat, and that purpose was to make them feel like real people in outer space. They're blue collar workers. They're truckers in space, and they're caught in a horrible situation, and they sell it so goddamn well. That's why I love their characters in that film. They felt real. Actually, I know you're answering Patreon questions, but is there... No, I mean, I'll go back and forth. I'll go back. I mean, this is kind of like... The Patreon, what it's supposed to do is, like, this initiates the conversation, and, that's kind of like the main topics we'll be discussing. But you guys can come in with your own questions if it pertains to what we're talking about. That's totally fine. Yeah, don't worry about that. Batches, I know you're answering Patreon questions, but is there a mythology that's been ruined that you think can be rebooted? Oh, that's a good one. I mean, Alien, honestly. You ignore all the films that came after Aliens and you do that third film. That's how you do it. And you're like, all right, fuck, get rid of all this shit. It's not, no one cares. No one cares. No one cares about that other stuff. No one cares about Prometheus in the same way, or Alien Covenant in the same way that they care about Alien. So jettison all that shit and end it properly. Terminator's another good one, M. Xavier. Yeah, I don't know how you do that. Yeah, man, 1 and 2 are great. That's another franchise that had the same kind of effect. Predator. I mean, Predator, I think is almost, it's weird. Like, I think Predator's, like, out of all those big sci-fi action franchises, Predator's probably the one that's had the better sequels, you know? Like you said, Predators, I think Predators, in terms of, like, third films and franchise, I think it's safe to say that Predators is better than Terminator 3 and Alien 3. I think we can all come to that agreement. Alien 3, Alien 3 had good ideas, but they just didn't know what to do. That's the other thing. They had no idea what to do. It was a hodgepodge of different ideas. And nothing coalesced, Sally. Nothing coalesced. Brando wiped the slate clean with Alien like Halloween did with their sequels. Yes, exactly, man. That's what you do. That's what you do. And those films always exist for those who are fans of them, but I agree. I totally agree. All right, chat. So again, Josh, thank you for those great questions. Some great discussions were had by that. Now we're going to move on to JT Grim Dresden, chat. JT Osmussen with some of his questions. This is question number 1. With the recent announcement of the prices of the next-gen consoles, which console version do you think will sell the best from either side? Thank you, Darkseid, for the 5 days. Aliens, Saga, we got a Saga here. See, nobody cares. I know, right? Dotson, we got a Saga here. No one cares, exactly. Just tell goddamn good movies. Tell good stories. Right there with you, Darkslayer. But, just for those who might not have heard it, basically saying which console version do you think will sell best from either side. Now, as we all know, Chad, it was revealed yesterday that the price of the PlayStation 5, the one with the disc, the kind of default version of it, $499, Chad, $500 and the discless version, Chad, the digital-only version is $399, $400 and then the Xbox Series X is going to cost, I believe, $500, and the Xbox Series S, Chad, their digital version is going to be $299, shit. Surprising, $300. Now, to answer your question, JT, I think it's the PlayStation 5. And for the simple reason is people are going to flock to software. And listen, I'm not going to count Microsoft out. I'm sure they're going to do very well. I'm going to buy their console eventually. I mean, I think the stuff they're doing with Game Pass is very forward thinking. But in terms of the pop culture zeitgeist, what's the thing on everyone's mind right now? It's PlayStation 5. Yes, it's the newest thing that just debuted, but people are talking, not only talking about the PlayStation 5, chat. They're talking about all the games that are coming. People are excited about Spider-Man Miles Morales. They're excited about Final Fantasy 16. They're excited about what's some of the other stuff that was even stuff that's not even going to be first party, chat. That's going to be multi-platform, like Resident Evil 8. People are connecting Resident Evil 8 to Sony. That's what it's doing. That's the mind share right now. I'm not talking about like gamers because we're pretty savvy, but for people who are in the mainstream, that's what they're thinking. It's like, oh fuck, Resident Evil 8, PS5, gotta play Resident Evil 5. I gotta play Resident Evil 8 on PS5. That's what I gotta do. And so I think that the PlayStation 5 is just going to be the #1 console again because of that fact. Because of the mind share and because of the perceptions of all these new big AAA games coming to this system. I mean, God of War, another one. It's like, you love God of War. Well, it's coming. It's coming next year, which I don't believe personally, but we'll see what happens. Mr. Yasmin, they tweeted when you could pre-order Xbox Series X and S. Well, that's good. PS5 is selling like a good hot dog in a baseball. Yeah, exactly. I heard that RTX release was a shit show. Rooster Teeth? Oh, are they doing a digital-only event this year? I didn't know that. I think PS4 is going to sell. Oh, PS5 is going to sell the best. Gotcha. No, I think that's what's going to happen, guys. It has the popular mind share right now, and just based on those games, everyone's talking about. Listen, I'm excited for the Xbox because I want to play some of their smaller titles like the Gunk, like this little kind of Luigi's Mansion-esque Super Mario Sunshine game with a really cutesy aesthetic. That looks like a lot of fun, but no one's talking about the Gunk. People are talking about Spider-Man Miles Morales. They're talking about Demon Souls, even though that's a console exclusive, or for now, limited right now. It's coming to PC. I think it'll eventually be available on Xbox, chat, but that's the mind share. So, yeah, I'd say PS5. Another question from JT. Also, PS is better exclusive. No, you're right. That's exactly. It always comes down to software at the end of the day. It's always, a lot of it is the software. JT, which DC character would you want Dan Stevens cast as? There it is, Chad. There it is. I told you Dan Stevens was going to come back in the conversation. I mean, God, so many. I used to I think it would have been back in the day. I was like, you know what, Dan Stevens could play Kraven the Hunter. But now I'm more like on the Travis Fimmel train with Kraven the Hunter. Chat. I think Travis Fimmel would make it. He's from Vikings. He was the series lead for the first 4 seasons, so he's my choice for Kraven. But now, chat, when it comes to Dan Stevens in the MCU, I've said this before over and over again. Doctor Doom. I think he would make an excellent Doctor Doom, chat. It's like at least how I picture kind of Doctor Doom chat. I mean, Latveria, kind of Eastern European, so I'm thinking, a very Slavic looking guy. Blonde, you got fucking Aryan looking Dan Stevens, chat. Blonde hair, blue eyes. We know he's a master at various accents, chat. He can do a fucking killer American accent, chat, especially as you saw The Guest. One of my favorite thrillers of all time, chat. Love that movie. But yeah, Dan Stevens as Doctor Doom would definitely be my number one choice. I'm trying to think of because I like to see him as villain. I think he's very nefarious when he's playing a villain. And the thing is, see The Guest, by the way. If you guys have not seen The Guest, it's on Netflix right now. And how I want them to treat Doctor Doom in the MCU eventually is be both a villain and hero, chat, given the situation that he's in. Kind of like the same way he's been treating the comics for the last 20 years. It's like, sometimes I'm going to be the good guy and help you out, and sometimes I'm going to, fucking creep up behind you and stab you in the goddamn back. That's what he should be. And what worked about his character in The Guest, chat, is that he comes off so incredibly charming and likable. And people are just like, God, David, you're such a great guy, even though underneath that's all fucking facade. And you find out who he really is, what he really is, and it's horrifying. And so it's like I could totally see him playing a Doctor Doom where, his public persona, chat, he's just like, listen, I'm just trying to help the world. I'm picking up the torch that was dropped from Tony Stark, okay? I want to build a suit of armor around the world so a Thanos-level situation will never happen to humanity again. That's public facade. Where he really is like, fuck those people. I'm going to rule. Not only going to rule the goddamn Earth, okay? I'm going to rule the goddamn universe. That's what I want to do. And I'm going to use technology and magic to do it. That's what we want. I think he would handle that so well. I've seen The Guest. Good. Steve, The Guest's list. Steve, now you could tell he crazy, though. It makes you sound, the soundtrack is great. Yeah, agreed. Yeah, chat. So what about you guys? Who would you want to see as Dan Stevens cast as? Dan Stevens as John Cassidy as DC films. That would be also great. I could see that. Definitely. Very good. Mr. Army PS4 is going to sell well, I think, this holiday. Oh, you mean just in general? Like, okay, no, I got you. Oh, no, I'm sure it's going to keep doing very well. Yes. Oh, the graphics card. Gotcha. That, like, RTX, they having a digital-only event? Okay. Yeah. Antoine, he would be a good Doctor Doom, like the comic storyline where he was on a quest to find his mother. Yeah, great one. You can even have him interacting with Doctor Strange, chat. Does Doom have power set, or is he just super smart? No, he has a power set. It depends on who writes him, but typically, Doom, he's very intelligent, chat. He's almost as smart as someone like Reed Richards. Probably the same level as Tony Stark. He is a master inventor. So his suit, how I would pitch it, chat. I mean, have him stealing Stark technology to make his Doctor Doom suit is basically a repurposed Iron Man suit, and he's also a master of the mystic arts, much like Doctor Strange. Chat. He also uses magic. He is an amalgamation of technology and magic, chat. And so he has all these abilities at his disposal, trying to rule the world, or in his view, make it a better place. So, yeah, that's kind of, it depends on who writes him, but that's typically what he has, chat. Advanced technology and magic. Nancy, you could play an interesting Moon. Good choice, Deadpool. I can see him as Moon Knight. Yeah. They're doing a Moon Knight series, as we all know. Mircero, did you see the Call of the Wild? Yes, he's bad in that. I know. I saw the scene. I'm like, it's not great. I know. I agree with you. Hey, at least we all make some bad movies, okay? We all have some bad performances. Bambino Kid, good to see you. Dr. Doom don't give a fuck. Yeah, man. He does not. He'll put on that fucking facade for a little while, but he'll reveal who he really is eventually. Stab. But yeah, chat, that's who I would pick for Dan Stevens. Great choices, by the way. Either Dr. Doom for Dan Stevens, or Dan Stevens as Dr. Doom, or Dan Stevens as John Constantine, chat. I think he could really pull that off. I would love an R-rated Constantine Hellblazer adaptation, a series of those films. Very good choice. Very good. Who was the one that brought up John Constantine? Give yourself a pat on the goddamn back. You deserve that. Mr. Yasman, excellent choice. I think Dr. Doom has an Iron Man suit at one point. Perfect. Then just, yeah, do that. Like, have him repurpose that technology. I would have him stealing technology from Stark Industries and from Wakanda. That's how he gets so goddamn advanced yet. He's the Kim Jong-un. He's like a competent version of Kim Jong-un of the MCU. I think that'd be really cool. Like, you can't fucking set him off or it'll go nuclear. And this is the final question from JT. Third question. Will there be a whiskey review? Will there be whiskey reviews in the future? I mean, sadly, probably not. You guys know I enjoy a good cocktail, chat. I enjoy a good whiskey. Typically, I've only been drinking either Maker's Mark or Four Roses for sipping whiskey. So, but yeah, that'd probably get very expensive if I pursue something like that. But maybe someday, eventually, chat, when I'm able to do this for a living, I do want to do cooking streams. You know, something very simple where it's just, hey, this is what I prepare, is what I have during the week to experiment with different things, chat. I want to eventually maybe even work on a series of cooking video game-esque food and seeing if I can actually replicate those recipes from the game. I've always had that in the back of my mind, but I mean, I just can't do it, chat. I don't have the time. I just simply don't have the time yet or the materials to do so. But that's something I will do in the future. Maybe not the whiskey stuff, but definitely like food-based streams. I think could be really fun. Yeah, or at least for YouTube content as well. Thank you to R75 Base. Cooking with Chris. Exactly, that's what it'd be called. Cooking with Chris. Bad Shields, I'm loving this Dr. Doom talk. Thank you, Bad Shields. No, I'm glad you guys. I hope you guys are enjoying this so far. This Q&A. This is my first time doing it. I'm glad it seems to be going pretty well. Yeah. No, this is good. Yeah. Again, thank you to my patrons for these excellent questions, and thank you to you guys for all the feedback. Yeah, you're making these even better. Yes. Breath of the Wild recipes. Exactly. That's what I was thinking of, like Zelda recipes. Or Skyrim. Recipes from Skyrim, too. Like making those sweet rolls and shit. Yeah, Brando. You got it. Probably, yeah, I want Justice League Dark TV series. Are they making that now? Is that happening? Last time I heard was like J.J. Abrams involved that. And that's going to be developed for HBO Max, I think. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. Darkseid. I like the Q&A. Another as you throw your glass down. Maybe I'll make these more than bi-weekly, chat, if you're really digging them. I'll look into it. I'll see. I'll do some feedback, chat. I'll put out some polls for you. See what you guys are thinking. I'm just thinking also, like, just with time, how I'm able to do this. And maybe I'll make it like I don't know, 3 times a month or something like that. Maybe 3 Thursdays a month. Yeah, we'll see. All right, chat. Thank you again, JT, for those questions. Now we're moving on to John Early, chat, Brightburn himself. This is his first question. I'd like to know what your feelings are on the Wii U. Have you actually sat down and played with one? I have sat down and played with one. I never was a big fan of the Wii U. I never owned one. I should definitely say I never owned one. I did play several games on it, and nothing where it's just like I spent like a profound amount of time playing each game. I played a little bit. People forget, like what was it? Yeah, Breath of the Wild was on the Wii U for I think a brief amount of time. I think that's how I initially played it. Was on that. People forget that it was like looking at the Switch. It's like, nah, there was fucking Breath of the Wild was on there too. But to me, the Wii U always just felt like a goddamn toy. It was. I remember like how it was initially announced. People were confused. Like, is the Wii U just the Wii U with a touchscreen? Like, the people didn't even know what the console looked like. Nintendo did such a terrible job. Of promoting this thing. People didn't even know what the fuck it was. And because of that fact, that it became very easy to make fun of, and just the software that was available on it, chat, like, yeah, you had some, you had stuff like, what, Bayonetta on there. Was it Bayonetta 2? I don't remember. Like, you had some of those games on there, chat, but it never penetrated the pop culture zeitgeist, chat. I think it sold maybe 10 to 12 million units in its lifetime, chat. So Nintendo had already a substantial war chest because of the Wii, chat. I don't like the Wii. I think it's a piece of shit console. But there's no denying its commercial success, chat. It was, aside from a couple of games, it was just a goddamn world of shovelware on that thing, chat. A platform filled with shovelware. And I don't like that. But the Wii U just felt like an even more driven version of the Wii. It's like, oh, people love motion controls. You're going to love touchscreens. And it just didn't work out. Thankfully, they went in the right direction with the Nintendo Switch. They learned from that experience. But, yeah, Devil's Third. That's right. Yeah. It was a gimmick, exactly. The Wii was a gimmick, and fucking the Wii U doubled down that gimmick, and it was a failure. So I never owned one. I did dabble in it at friends' houses who owned it, but nothing was remarkable to me about that console, and looking back on it, it's a failure. It's definitely a commercial and critical failure. There's no doubt about it. Oh, Purple Canary Cookie with Chris is great. Thank you, Purple Canary. Bad shows. I remember the Wii U, but I don't. I don't say that's the thing. I was like, when did I play Zelda Breath of the Wild? I think I might have. I don't remember. I played a Zelda game on it. I definitely do that. New edition. How would you rank all the Edgar Wright movies? All of them? Oh shit, I'm trying to remember like on the top of my head. I mean, number one's probably Hot Fuzz. I loved Hot Fuzz. Thank you, Dark 75 Minutes. You dabbled in the Wii. I owned a Wii. I owned a Wii, and I was like, oh shit, I made a mistake. I remember when I'll answer that question in a bit. But in terms of the Edgar Wright films, Hot Fuzz is probably number one. I love Hot Fuzz. Like, it was always debate between either Hot Fuzz or Shaun of the Dead. And I was like, I think I got Hot Fuzz. And a very close second, chat, is Shaun of the Dead. Third, I'd say, is Scott. I'm only by the ones that I've seen. Scott Pilgrim in third, chat. Love Scott Pilgrim. These are all better than Sex, by the way. Like, he's done 3 films that on that level, chat. Better than Sex. After that, what else has he done? Is he only done? Was it Baby Driver and the world? I can never remember The World's End. At the World's End was those the other ones, chat. Yeah. Then after that, in a very distant fourth, chat, I'd have to put Baby Driver. Honestly, I think I'd give that a rental. And then right below that, 5 would be The World's End. Thank you, show, for the 10 biddies. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're enjoying yourself right now. But yeah, chat, I was not a fan of Baby Driver. I mean, I remember talking about it on Double Toasted before I was a cast member, and I just remember being so bored by that movie. Ansel Elgort. I mean, hey, he got a lead role in the film. Good for him. But man, he sucks charisma out of a room, and I just thought he was such a boring protagonist. I did not care about his story at all. And the way they handled certain characters too, it was just odd. Like Kevin Spacey, he's kind of like the villain at first, but then he's not. Like, he's definitely the force at which, is keeping Ansel Elgort's character of Baby a part of this criminal enterprise. And he threatens him throughout the entire movie, like constantly, consistently threatens him. And it's like, I'll come after you. I'll kill your adopted grandfather, your adopted black grandfather. And he has a total fucking 180 in one point in the movie. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Where Zen is gonna save Baby, and it's all because it's like oh, I understand, Baby. Like you, I was once in love, and he just decides to sacrifice himself, and I'm like, what? I was so confused by that. That came out of nowhere. Based on everything else we had seen him in space, that was not earned. Yeah, I just did not like the movie at all. Yeah, I mean, cinematography was great. Some of the action scenes were very well directed. I'll give it that. There's some great choreography in the movie. I'm like, absolutely. And technical level, the film is very good. But it came to the writing, the humor, I thought it fell flat. And then the other one, Chad, which I know is controversial, is the World's End. And yeah, I don't know. It just didn't sit well with me at all. I didn't think it was very funny. I thought Simon Pegg's character, I know that he's supposed to be a very toxic person based on his tragic past, but there was never a single time where I laughed when he was doing his thing. I mean, it was kind of like Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, they switched roles, where Nick Frost, he typically always plays the irresponsible or, the dumb character, the sidekick to Simon Pegg. But apparently he's charming at it. He's very charming when he does it, though, both in Shaun of the Dead and in Hot Fuzz. And he switched. He played more the straight man role, which he was okay at, I guess. I didn't think he was that funny either as a straight man. And Simon Pegg, I just found grating throughout the entire movie. And the other thing, too, I thought the film had the cast was too big. I never really got to know anyone. Like, even it's a comedy, and you're not supposed to, it's like, it doesn't matter. But it's like there were so many people together, and I never got a sense of a dynamic between anybody. It was just like, there's never an interaction. You go, that was funny, that back and forth. There was nothing on that level the same way that we saw in something like Hot Fuzz. Like, with all the cops finally getting together, chat, and doing the fucking catchphrases back and forth. Like, that works. Like, when they're raiding the goddamn supermarket, chat. Or even when Sean and Sean and his people are in the Winchester, chat, and you're getting that dynamic between everybody. Like, the World's End didn't capture that at all to me. So, yeah, a rental. I'd give it a rental. Yeah. I know it's probably controversial with you guys. What we got? Danger Monk, I like Baby Driver. And a lot of people do. I was in the minority that wasn't a big fan of that film. Is there no 8-Bit? No, 8-Bit Crumbs is today, Glee. It's good. It's happening. It is happening. This is just my new series, which I'm going to be doing on a bi-weekly basis, even more possibly because of a reaction. You guys seem to really like it, where every Thursday, or every other Thursday, I'll be taking questions from my Tier 4 Patreon subscribers, and I'll be answering them. And of course, you guys can come up with your own questions, too. You know, typically as long as it pertains overall to the greater, scheme of things, to the questions themselves, the discussion themselves. And so, but yeah, it's pretty fun. It's called Class in a Glass Cast. TM. But yes, 8-Bit Crumbs is happening today, chat. We're going to be talking about the PlayStation conference along with the She-Hulk news. Tatiana Maslany being cast as the character. I do like the action driving scenes. No, I get you. I'm right there with you, Dan 12. What? I thought it was okay. Oh, Baby Driver. He saw it several months before all this shit with Kevin Spacey. Oh, yeah. I didn't. Yeah, that all came out. This movie came out way before all that. Yeah. It was like a year before that, I think. Rebel King, Baby Driver's okay. I don't like the main character at all. Yeah, he's just boring. Mr. Yes, I saw Baby Driver and thought it was okay. Some people are kind of like, it was okay. The World's End was It's okay. Maybe not as controversial as I thought. Good. Mr. Yes, we'll say The World's End. There you go. Hey! Thought World's End was better. And then Hot Fuzz. Wow. Hot Fuzz dragged in the middle before the big shootout. Oh, man. Agree to disagree there, Chanel. And yeah, I love Hot Fuzz. That's my favorite. Edgar Wright movie. Absolutely adore that film. World's End is only okay. So, okay, a lot of people are saying, like, it's only okay. I thought it was refreshing for them to swap roles, gave both of them a chance to stretch them. I mean, definitely, I just didn't think they did a good job in switching the roles. Nick Frost was the only good part in the World's End. I mean, honestly, in hindsight, he probably was. You know, I didn't hate him. I did not hate him. And the other characters, I'm like, I guess they're dead. I don't really care about them. So, Nick Frost was the highlight. No. Who was the highlight, Chad? Fucking Filch. God, I forget the actor's name. But the guy who played Filch in the Harry Potter series, and also Walder Frey in Game of Thrones. He was the highlight. He was the best actor in that movie. He was actually pretty goddamn funny. That's right. I'm shocked. This is a Tier 4 subscriber. So if you're a Tier 4 subscriber on my Patreon, you get to ask 3 questions, and that's what kind of dictates the flow of this Q&A discussion show. All the Money in the World was good. That was the movie they did reshoots. Yeah, Christopher Nolan. Yeah, they erased Kevin Spacey. That's true. Yeah. I agree with you on World's End of the Cornetto. Yeah, it's definitely the weakest. At least for me. I like the entire Cornetto trilogy. A lot of people do, Andy. I understand. That's among a lot of people's favorite trilogy. To me, it's like my favorite duology. As you guys know, I would have given a World's End a fuck you. Whoa, if it wasn't for Nick Frost in the bathroom fight. No, again, on a technical level, both World's End and Baby Driver are well made. They're well shot. But yeah, it was the writing that bothered me. It was the writing and some of the performances. Timothy Dalton did an amazing job in Hot Fuzz. And they had Pierce Brosnan in The World's End. I just felt like they didn't use him. Yeah. David Bradley. Thank you, Chris Ayers. David Bradley. He is a G. Brightburn, Edgar Wright, Scott Pilgrim versus the World's End. Oh, I love Scott Pilgrim. That's a better than sex movie. I did a review of that a couple of weeks ago. Really enjoyed that film. No, Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead, and Scott Pilgrim are all better than sex films, chat. Great trilogy. Great trio of films. Glee, thanks for posting your reviews on YouTube. It's nice catching up on the ones you've done that. Oh, thank you, Glee. Yeah, I have such a backlog to get through. I have such little time because of the day job. It makes editing difficult. But I'm trying to get them up there as soon as possible. I did release Aladdin this week, guys. Aladdin, along with the Spider-Man the animated series, 90s animated series, episode 8, the clone costume, or not the clone costume, the alien costume, part 1. Check that out, guys. But yeah, I'm trying to work through it. But they'll eventually all be uploaded there. Just takes time. Pierce Brosnan was also, yep, he was. Carol, Hot Fuzz is the best Edgar Wright's movie. I did not think this was really. Yeah, apparently. It's my favorite. Hot Fuzz is Scott Pilgrim for me. Hot Fuzz. Glee, how long does it take to edit them from your stream? I mean, honestly, like the editing process. I mean, because I have to wait. because some of these files are like very large. When I'm exporting them, I gotta render them in Premiere Pro, and then I gotta export them from Premiere Pro. So it takes some time. And in the meantime, I'm also uploading other content and videos. I'm doing my streams. I'm recording my audio commentaries. That's what's taking so long to do it. Devin, top 5 Kurt Russell movies? Oh shit, that's a good question. I mean, most of them are John Carpenter films. The Thing, Big Trouble in Little China, Escape from New York. I gotta think about the other ones. Those are that's my top 3. I give you my top 3. Top 5 a little bit harder, but those are definitely my top 3. Remember, I see you're a man of good taste. Yes, yeah. None of that Final Cut nonsense. Premiere Pro, exactly. Oh. But now, chat, we can go ahead and go back to John Early's question. This is question number 2. Have you ever had a chance to read Superman comics, such as Superman for All Seasons by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale? Yes, I have. I actually own Superman for All Seasons. It's one of the few Jeff Loeb books I actually like, along with his Batman books, with The Long Halloween and Dark Victory. No, you guys know I'm a big Superman fan. People say like, Superman's such a boring character. There are some legitimately great Superman books out there. A couple I always like to mention, chat. Superman Birthright is an amazing book. I feel like if you ever wanted to do, not that I want them to do the origin of Superman over again, but if you had to, follow that book, written by Mark Waid, chat. Love Superman Birthright. Superman Brainiac, chat, kind of reintroduces the villain of Brainiac. Brainiac made him more of a more intimately involved in the destruction of Krypton, chat, more akin to the Superman animated series, which I really liked. Also, if you want Elseworlds title, chat, probably my favorite Elseworlds book of all time, like in comics, especially from DC, is Superman Red Sun. They recently did a animated adaptation, like a year ago, right? It was 2019, and I love that where Superman, instead of landing in like in this case, 1930s Kansas, he ends up in 1930s or 40s Soviet-controlled Ukraine. And he grows up, and the book initially takes place kind of like the 1950s, and it's like the Cold War, except instead of, Superman, fucking, justice in the American way, all that shit, being an American hero, he's one of the weapons of the Soviet Union. And it's a great alternate take on not only Superman, but also a different version of Batman and Green Lantern and Wonder Woman. If you guys have never seen or never read Superman Red Sun, highly, highly recommend it. I recommend it. Brandon Calrissian, I just like evil Superman stories. Or excuse me, Purple Canary. I just like evil Superman stories. A great one, Injustice. I think that was Injustice is what Zack Snyder wants his Superman to be so desperately, but he just fails and flounders at. But the Injustice comics, which are based off of the Injustice fighting games created by NetherRealm Studios, makers of Mortal Kombat, are legitimately great. They're actually really fun read. They've been going on for years. I think they're doing a new one right now. They're just about to, but I've have some of the collections, and I'm like, these are actually really, really good. Where the whole thing is, chat, Superman, or basically the Joker, he does something like extremely fucked up where he kills all the employees, he gasses all the employees of the Daily Planet, and Superman accidentally murders Lois Lane, his pregnant wife. The Joker manipulates him with a Joker toxin, like I think tinged with like some type of kryptonite, and he makes him see the specific illusion, and he accidentally kills his wife by flying her in the fucking space, and she dies. And this sets him off, and he murders the Joker, and he very much creates a fascist worldwide government, and you have this Splinter Cell group led by Batman and other heroes fighting against him. And the comics more or less explore all the events that happened before the original game, and also going around them too or past them. So it's great. It's a really good story. Rest of the movie is great. I saw it. I liked it. Lakara, I don't think Zack Snyder wanted Injustice Superman. Injustice Superman is ruthless. I don't know what he wants. I never understood what Zack Snyder wanted with his Superman. To this day, I still don't get it. Tiger G, it's just a little weird that they can all take a pill and instantly be on Superman's power level. Oh, you're talking about Project Power? Is that what you're talking about? Chris Ayers. It's pretty fucked, it is. Well, that's dark. It's pretty goddamn dark. Bambino Kid, Injustice is great, definitely with the Green Lanterns. Oh, yeah, Green Lanterns too. Mm-hmm. Brad Bird and Henry Cavill prepare for Man of Steel reading Superman Red Sun. Did he? Wow. What? Okay, that's fucking funny. Like the one book that he was given, read Superman Red Sun, that's all you need. It's like, no. Oh, man. Chris says, you wanted to deconstruct Superman? Yes. I forgot to construct it properly first. That would be a good thing to do. That'd be wise. That's sage. That'd be sage advice. Oh, I know. Yeah, the kill Gardner. Yep. I think he means injustice. Don't they all to be really strong. Are we talking about the same thing? Thank you, Darkseid, for the 5 biddies. In Justice, everybody takes a pill to become super strong and invulnerable. Oh, gotcha. Joker used Scarecrow gas on. So yeah, pretty much that's what he did. It was like a combination between his gas and Scarecrow gas. Yeah. Darkseid. Zack Snyder just wants to blow up shit with a gray filter. Pretty much gray and blue filter. That's his big thing. Jake Luther just got here. What's the difference between your video cast and your regular videos, Chris? Well, Jake Luther, this is going to be probably like a bi-weekly video cast or podcast, if you want to consider it. Or maybe it'll be happening like maybe 3 times a month. You guys seem to really like it. Where I am taking questions via my T4 patrons on my Patreon Class in the Glass, and I'm answering them on stream. And you guys can come up with your own questions, but as long as they kind of pertain to the discussions at hand, or at least somewhat related to. But yeah, so that's like an added benefit for my Patreon subscribers. Like they basically get to pick the content that I get to discuss and you guys get to discuss with me, every other Thursday or almost every Thursday, that kind of thing. Yeah. Chris Ayers and Orange. Arsenic, T, what are you talking about? Oh, you're going your own thing. Yeah. Oh. But here we go, chat. We also have question number 3. This is from John Early again, chat. What are your feelings on black and white movies? I mean, have you ever met someone who couldn't watch a particular black and white film because of the lack of color? I've never had an issue with black and white. For a reason, there are people that really dislike that they need to have that color palette on them. But no, I don't have any issue with black and white films. There are some films that I love that are in black and white. It never bothered me the fact they're in black and white. Everything from, Treasure of the Sierra Madre, to Inherit the Wind. Now, there's several films that are probably in my top 50 that I put up there. They're in black and white. There's some amazing ones. I have met people that don't like black and white movies, and I'm just like, I don't get it. I don't know. They just don't. Like their explanation constantly is just, I just don't like it. It looks old, and I'm like, okay. I mean, I can't say that they're wrong or anything. Eraserhead's another great one. That's true. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a Casablanca. There, Night of the Living Dead, Dracula. I mean, there's so many great ones. And black and white, I mean, even the way black and white is used today in films, chat, it can even improve it. It can set like a mood, chat, or can just establishing an aesthetic. One of my favorite films of last year, chat, 2019, The Lighthouse is in black and white. And I think that probably made the movie even better. It made it more ominous. It made it more bleak. It made made it appear that the characters' lives are even more miserable. It can be used quite effectively, Chad. Quite effectively. Yeah, no, I have no issue with black and white films. Some of my favorite movies from last year are black and white. So yeah, Ed Wood, great. Yeah, again, great aesthetic choice to have it be black and white, much like Ed Wood's movies. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Young Frankenstein worked as well. Yeah, man, that's a comedy in black and white. It still holds up. It was actually shot in black and white. They didn't shoot in color and then charge it. Look at that. That's very cool. Is Sin City in that pile, even though it has some hints of color? Just wondering. I mean, yeah, it is. I'm not a big fan of Sin City, the films. I don't know. Like, originally, like Frank Miller's first Sin City book, it was supposed to be like a parody of noir. It's like, oh, you're making fun of noir stuff. And then he started taking it a little too seriously. But people are big fans of that series. I'm just not one of them. I'm just not one of them. I mean, aesthetically, it stands out, no doubt about it. But yeah, just the storytelling, the characters, I just never liked. Any Charlie Chaplin. There's so many great examples. LaCara, what was the movie that went from black and white to color? That was decent. Black and white to color? I don't know. I mean, Pleasantville was a film that did that. With Tobey Maguire just before he was Spider-Man and everything. Came out like 1999 when the whole concept is him and his sister are basically sucked into Tobey Maguire's favorite TV show, which is like a, Leave It to Beaver-esque thing where that movie starts out in color, chat, and then it goes to black and white, and eventually color is reincorporated back into the lives of those characters in that show. So that's what I could think of. It worked for that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Psycho's in black and white, exactly. Wizard of Oz was, yep. Mm-hmm. That's right. Pleasantville, that's the one. Artist. No, a lot of great ones. Have I seen Run, Roll, Run? I have seen that, yeah. Mm-hmm. That was one of my my girlfriend's favorite movies. My ex-girlfriend's favorite movies. Yeah. Purple Canary, black and white movies are wonderful. No, I agree. Yeah, I have no issues with black and white films. They're great. Yeah, I never understood why people just don't like them. The only thing I've ever hear is just like, they look old. It's just like, I mean, I guess that's true, but I mean that doesn't, does that affect the storytelling or the acting? And I don't think so. Yeah. Have you seen The Lighthouse? Just talked about that ending. Yeah, it was one of my favorite movies of last year. Love The Lighthouse. And as I said before, I think the black and white adds to the aesthetic of that film. Makes it more moody, makes it more ominous, makes the characters' lives appear even more miserable than they are. I love that. Yeah, it worked well. I want to see The Witch in black and white. I know that's how he originally, the director, I forget his name. I always forget his name. But the director originally wanted to shoot The Witch in black and white. I think there's a black and white version you can see on VOD, or at least on the Blu-ray of the film. Robert Eggers. Thank you, Chris Ayers. Robert. Justice League, the director's cut is in black and white. Really? That's weird. That's just weird. I don't understand. Zack Snyder thinks if I just make it black and white, instant classic. That's just bizarre. Oh yeah, it's Logan in black and white too. That would be. I've never seen it in black and white. I own Logan. I have that. I think I have that because I have it on Blu-ray. Yeah, Fury Road. Thunder The Witch is an odd film, and I like it. I saw it in the theater, and I thought it was just okay. I was like, I'd give it like a matinee, low matinee. But I want to watch it again. I want to give it another chance, because after seeing The Lighthouse, which I loved, it's like a high full price movie for me. I want to give The Witch another shot. Darkseid, thank you for the 5 minutes. I can't take Lucas's black and white comment when he was younger seriously. He kept changing the original. What? Talking about George Lucas. I can't take Lucas's black and white comment when he was younger seriously. I didn't know he had an opinion on black and white films. He kept changing the original chart, and he had the audacity to give some edited copy of Star Wars to the Library of Congress. Oh shit, I didn't know about that. The Mrs. Black and White version. I've seen some of the clips online of that. Yeah, that's about, like, I loved like The Mist. The Mist is a movie I wish I could love, chat, but the CGI in the film is just so bad. I was like, ugh. Again, this doesn't age well. Should use practical effects. Yeah. I was like, Lucas Black. I'm like Lucas Black? Or Lucas's. I think he says like George Lucas. I think that's who he's referencing. So maybe do you have any favorite foreign movies? Yeah, I mean, hey, just last year. My favorite film of the year was a foreign film. Parasite. Absolutely adored Parasite. That, I mean, from the acting to the writing to the cinematography. To just like the setting, primarily at that house shit. That house had fucking character. Parasite's like a better than sex film for me. Like other foreign films, I mean, most of the works of Hayao Miyazaki in terms of animation, Studio Ghibli movies I love. I like the dub versions though, of Princess Mononoke, Castle in the Sky, Laputa, Nausicaa in the Valley of the Wind. That's one of my favorites. I'm trying to think about some other foreign films on top of my head. I'm drawing a blank. Like Parasite's just the one that's been kind of dominating my mind. Oh shit. God damn it. It's a South Korean movie. Oh damn! It's a South Korean movie, and it's about these two women who fall in love with each other, but it's like initially starts as like a con. Damn it! What's it called? Oh, I'm losing it, chat. What was it called? I'm drawing a blank. Help me out. There's a lot of sex stuff. There's like a ton of sex stuff in it. A lot of sex stuff. Fuck. Oh, damn. The Handmaiden. That's it, Tiger GD. The Handmaiden. Yes, The Handmaiden. Handmaiden is amazing. It's disturbing as hell. It's really disturbing as hell, chat. But you want to see like a really tightly wound thriller or drama? Check out The Handmaiden. That is some kinky shit. That might be a little too kinky for some people, but definitely The Handmaiden. Trying to think other foreign films. Yeah, I'm drawing a blank right now. I wish I could just like think of them. I am just drawing a blank. Those are at least a couple of the ones I can think of off the top of my head that I really, really like and enjoy. Even there's like some like remakes of American films. Oh, Seven Samurai. I forgot about Akira Kurosawa, chat. Seven Samurai is great. It's a fucking long movie. It's a fucking epic and a half, chat, but Seven Samurai is another great one. A lot of those Asian cinema. Drama. I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of like you know, I mean, I do have some exceptions. Kung fu films like, goddamn, not The Last Dragon. Jeez, I'm drawing a goddamn blank today, Chad. Oh my God, what's wrong with me? The Bruce Lee movie. Help me out here. My favorite kung fu film of all time that I, for some reason, can't remember anything to. Jesus Christ. Not Infernal Affairs. But Infernal Affairs is great. Infernal Affairs is legitimately great, chat. I'm losing my goddamn mind here. Hold on. Gotta look up his filmography, chat. A lot of people love Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. I'm not the biggest Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon fan. Not the one, Hidden Dragon. Damn, I'm losing my mind. What the fuck's the name of this movie of his? Enter the Dragon. There it is. Jesus Christ. I'm so sorry, chat. I don't know why I just drew such a blank. Enter. That was like, it was driving me nuts. Enter the Dragon. Yeah, I love Enter the Dragon. Yeah. Brightburn Citizen Kane was an inspiration for Batman animated series. Really? Oh, yes. I could definitely see that. Yeah. For the Art Deco designs. Definitely. Like parts of Crouching Tiger. Yeah. Yeah, New Edition, Parasite. Now, those are the ones that I can think of at the time. There's probably countless other ones. I just can't think. I mean, if I can't remember Bruce Lee's greatest film, Enter the Dragon, chat, then, you know, it'll be a bit of more of a struggle to think of some of the other favorite horror films of mine, or excuse me, foreign films of mine. Yeah, Old Boy. I'm not a big Old Boy fan. Yeah, it was like, I don't know. I don't know. It's a very nasty little movie. I don't know, something about it. Yeah, I was like, I don't need to see that again ever. A lot of people love Old Boy. A lot of people unsubscribe. Oh, no! It's going to happen. It happens, chat. Oh, someone brought up the Raid film. Sure, in terms of action movies, yeah, those are great. Those are definitely great. Yeah, but, yeah, chat, that's all the questions I have from my Tier 4 patrons, chat. So, thank you again to Josh, JT Asmussen, and to John Early Brightburn himself. I hope you guys enjoyed this.